I don't know about you, but I'm looking pretty hot right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this green brings out the color of my eyes.
You know, I always
We're
thought I
live.
had that effect on women, but apparently you have that effect on men.
I have that effect on animals,
It's your
barnyard
sideburns.
animals more specifically.
Which,
Cut.
all right, so let's get rolling with this thing. Hi guys, I'm here with my friend Todd Ancich, and he runs the channel Behind the Bunker. And if you know me from my channel, DangerMan XX, and this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity for us because he's all. Where the hell are you from?
Toronto, Canada, essentially. I'm about an hour east of Toronto.
And we're here now in Chesapeake City, Maryland. I'm from Delaware, and the chances of somebody from Toronto and Delaware getting together to talk face to face is just like.
Well, I appreciate the fact that your YouTube channel is doing so well, and and the monetization is doing well, that you were able to afford to have me come down. And
Yes.
I do appreciate the first class because I do not travel any other way.
Yeah, I flew him first class, not coach, not even business.
Now it's surprising that my first class seat looked amazingly like coach, but they said that that was just a disguise, so no one
Yeah, it
felt
was strategic
bad,
planning. I didn't want you to
yeah.
feel like it was like I went overboard.
Yeah, either way, the peanuts were great.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's important to me to not appear ostentatious while still being pretentious.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Indubitably.
so? I guess let's get down to actual paintball questions. Would that be?
Absolutely.
I mean, if you're going to conduct an interview like this, I think paintball questions should come into play eventually.
I played paintball actually. I enjoy it.
What was the very first gun you ever shot?
First gun I shot was a rental gun. It was I went out to a local paintball field, and I was a VIP.
Is this going to be a long story?
No, I was a VIP. I brought a large amount of people from a nightclub that I was running at the time, and I was given a Spider TL Plus.
Oh, Spider.
Uh-huh.
Did you
So
get
that
through
was
the game?
It didn't actually work. The first
you
couple of
go.
games I had some problems, but that was the first gun I shot. The first gun I purchased was a KP3 Sheridan rifle, which I still have to this day, and up till about a year or two ago I was playing with, but when the Sniper 2 came out, I put that away. And
Now, I've been shooting an Empire axe for the past couple of years, and
Yeah.
I heard on the channel the other day you've been shooting one and liking it. What makes you like that so much?
to be honest with you, I've been playing competitively for about 12 years now. I've since retired. Last year was my last year, but for the last 2 years of my career, I was using the Empire axe, and to be honest with you, it was just as accurate as all the other guns I've been shooting, or even shooting against guys shooting with Luxes against me or anything else. I didn't have a problem. I thought it was great, and I'm a guy who likes to just wipe down his gun when he's done, put it back in my
Yeah.
gear bag, and pull it out the next day. And the Empire axe has always been good for me. So I find that with certain guns, you get one that just always works, and that's been the axe so far. I've had a couple of DMs from Dye that worked out really well for me, but yeah, for me it's been the axe lately.
That you tricked that DM out, and I understand that you have a relationship with Dye. Tell me, I mean,
It's been a sordid relationship.
with the, no, is there like a menage a trois type thing, or?
Empire didn't get into that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So, in all seriousness, so with the Dye, I'd like to know. I mean, if you just pull that thing out of the box, I mean, is it still a gorgeous? I mean, 'cause it's like what, $1,300 for one of those things?
Yeah, it is, but you know what? As I said, the axe is a good gun. It's missing a few features that some of the nicer guns do have.
Such as?
Well, the barrel out of the box is
Yes.
is not what I would prefer. I put a freak kit on, so for me now that I'm fine with that.
Yes.
Where some of the Dye guns, their stock ultralight barrels are pretty decent.
Yeah, I think
so,
it's the single only upgrade I've ever had to make to the axe myself. Was
Yeah.
just the just different barrel, and I loved it.
Yeah,
It's
for
so
sure.
quiet and it's soft on paint.
Yeah.
And here it is. I'm sponsored by Vulcan, but I do shoot the Proton, and I got to say that the Proton, if it wasn't as loud as it is, I think it's comparable to the axe for me personally, and it's so slick. I mean, have you shot the Proton yet?
I have, but you know what? Every gun comes down to buying a pair of shoes.
Yep.
It's what's comfortable for you to shoot, what you like. Every gun shoots a little bit differently, and for those of you that have shot certain types of guns, you're going to lean towards those manufacturers. I find that the axe shoots very similar to the Dye guns, and for me, I like that. Some of the other guys that are shooting, shockers or egos, they have a certain trajectory as well. And if you're familiar with that, you're going to like that. So my best advice, if you're going to buy a gun, try to borrow someone who has one at the field and take it out, or talk to your store owner and let them let you demo one.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to talk about like beginners or people getting into the sport for a moment, it all really comes down to you deciding what kind of player you are. Are you a brawler? You like to get up front? Are you a long baller? You like to play from the back? Do you like speedball? Do you like woods ball? Do you like scenario? I mean, establish what kind of player you are, And at that point, you'll know what kind of gun to buy. I think the worst thing anybody can do is just jump right into a purchase really quick.
The other thing you can do is open up a paintball magazine, and the gun that has the most ads in there is usually the good gun to buy. I'm just kidding. Do your research. Not every gun that you see on the internet is fantastic. Talk to people who already own more than one gun. Just because someone owns a gun doesn't mean that it's the right one. They may have good luck with it and think it's the cat's meow, but if you talk to a guy who's had 5 or 6 guns and see what they think.
You know what I'm always sick of is when somebody does a review on a gun and they just got it out of the box and they've owned other paintball guns, but they're giving their review based on what they see and what they think it can do, as opposed to owning it for 3 or 4 months and then doing a competent review. I mean, that's I think that's what Todd's getting at, is get with somebody who really does know their paintball guns, who's shot different paintball guns, and give you a truly competent explanation as to what that gun can offer you.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, I do gun reviews. If you go to Behind the Bunker on YouTube, I do gun reviews, and what I do is when I take a gun out of the box, I do fire it, and I will give you my first honest opinion on it, because out of the box, as soon as you shoot that gun, every gun has a slightly different feel or flavor to it. And I'm honest about that. I mean, some guns have not been so good. So you got to be careful.
Yeah, I mean, there are the things that you can tell, obviously, from out of the box. But again, I think I heard you say it once, and I really picked up on this, and I truly believe this. Any gun can be a great gun if you play with it long enough. You create this relationship with your gun, and you learn the nuances of that gun, and you shoot it well.
Yeah. The guys that buy a new gun every weekend or trade their gun constantly may do okay because they're having fun and having new guns, but you're never going to learn properly. My axe, for example, or any of the DMs or any of the guns that I've had in the past, especially my sniper, my pump, that's a good example. I can grab it out of the bag and I can shoot and I can point that gun and I know where the paint's going to go because I'm so used to it. And it took a long time to get used to that. And that's just muscle memory and being familiar with the gun. And if you're going to buy a new gun every week, you're not going to get that or develop that. So what I would recommend is, no more than maybe one gun a year, and try to stick with similar manufacturers or styles of guns.
Here, let's play a little game here for a moment, and that is, let's pretend you could only own all your equipment from one manufacturer. What would be your go-to? What would be the one manufacturer thinks fills the most needs across the board?
That's a tough one. I will be honest, I think I own more guns from Empire, only because I play 3 different styles of paintball. I play speedball, and then I play casual woods ball, meaning when I'm not really, being too competitive, and then I play my scenario game. Speedball, I use my Empire axe. Anything else, for the most part, I'm using my sniper from Empire. I think it's an awesome pump gun, and if shit's hitting the fan, pardon my English, if it, I'll break out something else like my my axe, if I'll take it out, or I'll even take my dam out. But right now I would say I probably own more Empire guns than any other manufacturer right now.
See, to play along with this game since I started it, I would probably lean towards die because I love their minimalistic approach. I mean, their mask, you can part that thing without a screwdriver. I can't say the same for all their guns. I mean, what I will say is I like about the axe and the proton, both of those, is that you can do a lot of maintenance on those without having to pull out the hardware. But I like the minimalistic approach on a whole that Dye has, and I would think that a lot of manufacturers, as they come into the game, should follow that theology for players.
Now, did I win this game?
Yes, you did. You won an attaboy.
Good job. Just don't do a pat on the back.
Yeah, and I can't give you an attaboy in this shoulder here because Todd is still injured. We're sitting down at this picnic table because we're both the walking wounded. I have a broken foot with 5 broken metacarpals, and what happened to your arm?
Dislocated it and shattered my humerus in 3 spots. So we both have screws. I will say that I saw your X-ray. You have 1 more screw than I do, but my screws have washers. So I think that I win because the washers indicate that it was more of a severe injury.
Now,
so,
are yours scheduled to come out, or are they going to stay in for life?
No, mine are lifers. Now, I'll be honest with you, to get here, again, thank you for bringing me down here, but going through the metal detectors at the airport, they did not allow me to go through the metal detector because I wanted to see if the metal detector would catch the screws in my arm.
Right.
Instead, I had to go through that thing that you put your hands up.
Okay.
So when I did, I had to go like this because I couldn't raise my right arm, and I got the gears from the security agent until I explained my situation. But yeah, but no, I don't know if it's if the metal detector is going to pick it up. I'm waiting to see that. You'll have to let me know if you go through before I do.
Yeah, I will. I'm electing not to travel to Canada for any reason whatsoever because the American dollar is so weak. If I want to buy a burger up there, I have to mortgage my house.
Yeah, for sure. Although everything is bigger and better in Canada. I know that's Texas's motto, but it really isn't.
Okay, well, and I look forward to. Don't we have a bet on donuts? I'm supposed to bring some like Mr. Donuts, and you're supposed to get me some. What's it? Tim Horton? Is that what it is?
If you ever tried a Tim Hortons coffee, you'll swear off everything else. Starbucks is great, but Tim Hortons is the stuff. So
why didn't you bring me any then? I mean,
I think Tim Hortons put a small dosage of crack cocaine in it.
Gotcha.
And now this is, don't quote me on this. This is, yeah, something about it's addicting.
All right. So what I'll do is I'm going to ship you the just the dry roast all the way cut of some Mr. Donut or Dunkin' Donut. I'm sorry, and you can send me down some.
You know, unfortunately, I cannot. As part of a real Canadian, I am not allowed. I have a legal obligation not to send Tim Hortons south of the border.
Really?
Yes, it's inherent in our constitution. So
They have one in Maine.
it's not real.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, does it count if it's in?
Yeah, but when it says Tim Hortons with a Z on the end, it's not a real Tim Hortons.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I guess that's the one from Dr. Seuss then.
That's right.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
So last question, I guess, because this has been fun, but it hasn't been real fun. I'd like
Thanks.
to. Actually, the reality is, I really have been looking forward to this. I think the world of Todd. We met about 6-8 months ago, and we found that our channels, really did cross promote each other well.
We met online.
It was a dating site.
And I've only talked to Lars via Skype, but we found this real connection with InternetMingle.com. So I would highly recommend it. I think 7 out of 9 Internet Mingle couples meet.
Gotcha.
So,
Is that an actual website?
I have no idea.
Gotcha. Let me just seal it with a kiss.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I hope my hotel is a shower.
I'm gonna forget the last question. It's not even that important. I just want to thank Todd for interviewing with me like this.
Yeah, no worries. I'm glad to be here at beautiful Chesapeake City,
Yes,
Maryland,
yes.
at OXE.
Yes, and I'd like to thank our host,
OXCC.
Rick Carver at OXCC, for allowing us to do this little interview here. I hope everybody will hit Behind the Bunker. It airs on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Do you ever foresee that changing?
I'm not sure. You can always catch it and rewind if you can't watch us live, but Monday nights seem to be the best from my schedule, and it's all about me. So
Gotcha. I'm actually on the channel as well with him, so you can catch me both places. You can only catch him this one time on DangerMan XX. Unless in case I fly you down again.
I only have so much specialness I can spread.
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thanks again, Rick.
Yeah. Todd.
God.
It's too much for any man.